I do not know where to begin. I'm speaking about my father, who was not only my father, a legend, a person who shouldered an enormous responsibility, who carried an ardent task to liberate his country in 1971. He was the one who envisioned that the government is to be formed. On 30th March 1971, he envisioned that we have to create a government because there is so much of spirit nationwide against this genocide, the mass murder, orchestrated by the Pakistan military junta. In order to resist it and to be a winning force, we must create a government, because a government, it can unify a nation and represent Bangladesh in the international platform. So that was 30th March 1971. So that is the day that they crossed the border. But before that, they put out a condition that we will not cross the border and accept any Indian assistance unless they welcome us, recognize us as a representative of a free and sovereign country. And this is the quality of Tajuddin Ahmad that earned the respect of Mrs. Indira Gandhi and her colleagues. On 3rd April, the meeting took place after my father crossed the border and received by Golok Mujumdar, then Inspector General of Border Security Forces of the Eastern Wing. They were flown to Delhi and they landed in Delhi 1st April 1971. And it was, the whole meeting was kept quite secret because that was still a nascent stage, and they don't want this meeting to be public yet, because my father didn't know even that what would be the reaction of Mrs. Gandhi. When Mrs. Gandhi met, my father mentioned to Mrs. Gandhi that, Madam, this is our war. This is not the war between India and Pakistan. It is not going to happen like that. This is our war of liberation. And I seek, as the General Secretary of Bangladesh Awami League, and on behalf of my people, your assistance, but that has to be unconditional. From a country based on democracy, principle democracy, extended its support to a nascent Bangladesh which is aspiring to be a strong footage of democracy, social justice, human dignity, and so forth. And he told Mrs. Gandhi that, Madam Gandhi, we also need arms, ammunition, we need radio, so that we can have a diplomatic channel open to all of the world. But again, they must be unconditional. I feel that, look at the sagacity that earned the respect of Mrs. Gandhi, that he was a leader, he was talking like a statesman. And if I have to recall that, what was the contribution of Tajuddin Ahmad? Tajuddin Ahmad put out contribution in every facet in the development of Bangladesh. But his greatest contribution was that he led the war of liberation of Bangladesh to victory in 1971. Why? There were conspiracies taking place from within, from outside. From within, Khandukar Mushtaq and the youth group, they were anti-government, and Khandukar Mushtaq was was serving as the foreign minister. He was making a clandestine liaison with the CIA and the State Department to propose a confederation so that Bangladesh will still remain as a loose link with Pakistan. My father foiled it. Khandukar Mushtaq was removed from his position. And he also had to contain these youth who were thinking that it was not the government. We'll have a Revolutionary Command Council. And then the answer of my father, Barrister Aminul Islam, was that no country in the world will recognize a Revolutionary Command Council, but a government can recognize another government. And government becomes representative of a nation. So, and his idea won. The whole floor, with all these arguments and logic, the whole floor came into the favor of the formation of a government. So here, look at the process. He did not impose it on his group, on his people. He put out cogent arguments that they could not defy, couldn't ignore. He said that, look, another country which emerged through the Declaration of Independence in the United States of America, and it had a Congress. So it was, the whole military leadership were under a civilian leadership, because Bangladesh will never become a military-run government. So all the sector commanders, everybody were taking salary from the People's Republic of Bangladesh and fought the war of liberation.